Welcome to the Real Estate Investing Movement Podcast. We got my buddy Andrew McClam in the house. Now, Andrew is a deal practitioner, wholesale expert. He's training for the PGA Tour at the moment, professional golfer, and master at relationship capital. Andrew, good to have you here today.
Man, it's been a long time coming, Ben.
It has.
Pumped to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excited to get going, man. 100%.
Yeah, we opened up this conversation a few months ago, huh? Just aligning the schedules, man, and making it happen.
We did. And shout out to you. I'll go ahead and say it. Ben was the first one to ever take me to coffee when I was first getting going. And not only did he take me to coffee, he sent me on a meeting, my very first meeting ever. Like a lead came in on his phone. He's like, it's in Aiken. He's like, 45 minutes away. He's like, dude, I can't go. Do you want to go? I was like, are you kidding me? Yes. So I went out and got maybe a sub-2 type deal, got an authorization form signed, but it didn't end up working out. But like, just you believing in me to go out, dude, that showed me so much. And like, you really helped me get started. So this is like cool to see 2.5 years later.
Yeah.
Here we are. We're talking wholesaling.
Incredible,
We've
dude.
come a long way, man, for sure.
Wow. I didn't even think about that, man. But
I know.
Sometimes you need to connect the dots going backwards. Rewind the tape a little bit just to see where you've come from.
That's right.
I think we live in this hamster wheel, right? I mean, it's what the culture and the media has fed us, right? We're always working towards that next best thing, but sometimes we don't realize how far we've come.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
That's awesome,
Couldn't
man.
agree more, brother.
So this is going to be a hot podcast.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of nuggets, a lot of knowledge that's going to be shared. When I think of Andrew, even in the short period that he's been in real estate, you're probably going actually almost on 2 years now.
Did my first deal March 2019.
Yeah.
So yeah,
2
just
years.
2 years and 3 months, call it.
Yeah.
Since deal one.
So I think of you as a master at relationships, master at relationship capital. And that's kind of how you've built your business, right, when it comes down to it. And I want to touch on that here in a little bit, but let's go back to the beginning, where it all started. What got you passionate or fired up about stepping into real estate or entrepreneurship?
Sure. Well, let me take you way back. So I went to college at Charleston, graduated, stayed in Charleston, started working for a corporate sales company selling a payroll software. And talk about passion. You can always get so passionate about selling payroll, right? So I got to a point where I was really crushing it. At 24, I was on pace to make over $200,000. And most people would look at that and love that. And, that's what you work towards in the typical hamster wheel of life, right? Get a good job, make a lot of money, all that. And I was just miserable. I think one of my superpowers is really to be able to just look in and just see what I really want from life. And I knew that I wasn't happy. And so, dude, I took it to like a whole nother level. I knew I wanted to start my own business, become an entrepreneur, but I just needed time. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. So I remember walking into my boss's office and was like, listen, I'm a big surfer. I was like, I'm quitting. I'm moving to Bali, Indonesia for 6 months. I'm gonna go surf the best waves in the world. I'm gonna figure out what I want to do. And, at that point I'd saved up maybe 65, 70 grand, which is a good bit for that age. And, brought my girlfriend with me. So we took off, man. We went and traveled the world, hit 15 countries, proposed to her on top of Mount Fuji in Japan, did crazy stuff.
Dude, that's epic.
And, so while I was over there 3 months in, I had to look inward. I'm like, all right, man, what do you want to do with your life? Had no clue about real estate, man. Nothing. Like I went there with no plan. And so took a huge gamble on myself. And so started looking at a couple things, looked at being a drone pilot, realized I suck at photography, videography. So shout out to Kirby and who's crushing it. And but I started looking at maybe starting an online SEO company. I hate sitting in front of a computer, man. Yeah. I got to be out. And so I just happened to type in on Google, how to flip houses with no money. Found real estate, found, Brent and Adam, found you, all these different people that were really crushing it, learned about wholesaling and just dove in, man. And, had my advantage was I had 3-4 months to study and get ready. And I was religious about studying, man. I'm talking 8 hours a day. Wow. Like putting in work, read as many books as I could, was hitting every podcast. Like I took it seriously, and it went from a vacation to college, right? Like I was YouTube University in that thing. So I came back December 2018, hit the ground running, filed my LLC January 1st, 2019, we got coffee one day, February 2019, did my first deal in March. And, to date, I think I've done 80 or so deals in 2 years and some change.
It's incredible.
It's been nuts.
Incredible,
man.
dude.
It's been a lot of fun, for sure.
If you were to pull out one thing, whether it be your mindset, a habit, a tool that you extracted in that season, what would you say that one thing was that amounted to majority of your success?
Conviction. Like, getting going for me, let me tell you something, man. 6 months in Asia with a woman destroys your bank account, brother. So I came back, man, with like $7,500 in a dream.
Yeah.
And it's all conviction. It's, if you're going to start wholesaling, if you're going to do anything, if you're going to start your own business, you can't go in 50%. Like, my mentality was wholesale or die.
Yes.
Like, it was like, if I don't make this work, I'm going to live on the street until I make it work. And that's, I think, what so many newbies are missing. You don't have to quit your job and go full-time right out the gate, but the effort that you have to do and, just convincing yourself that you're really capable of doing this is what really led me forward. That's because really good. It was just all or nothing, and that's what you have to do if you're going to be successful. You got to be obsessed.
It starts with your mindset.
Yeah.
Basically, in order to achieve the results you're seeking, you have to first believe that it's true or that it's possible, right?
There was no doubt, right? It was you just can't be afraid of failure. And I wasn't. I really believed in myself.
Yeah. I remember early stages when you first got started, because we had this discussion. Mm-hmm. You dove into a book called The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, right? Love that book. I remember you mentioned it. I'm like, dude, that is amazing.
Yes.
Lots of people have read that book. I've read it, right? But you're one of the few people that I can say I physically saw taking those principles and actually following through for the entire process of that program.
It was so important at the start, having that type of routine, and essentially what I would do, wake up, read at least 10 pages, 20 pages of, a real estate related book, personal growth book, finance type book to really just help me gain knowledge on what I was doing. Do a 30-minute workout. I go take a shower and do what's called affirmations. Yeah. My wife, now wife, thought I was insane.
Crazy, yeah.
Because I'd be sitting in the shower screaming at myself like, you will be successful. You will be a wholesaler. You will own 100 units. Yeah. All these different things that I'm working my way towards now, and some I've already accomplished. And, after that, I'd visualize, the things I wanted in life and the lifestyle. And then I'd write in a journal. And I did it for 130 days straight. And it all started right when I got home, so to wake up at 6 a.m. and get going like that, especially when you're starting a brand new idea and concept in business.
It's rocket fuel.
Complete. Just once I got my first deal, I think I got 7 in my first 7 weeks, because I was so about it. Like I was craving it, and
you were vibrating.
I'm a bit of a deal junkie in general, man. I'm a sales guy, like that's my background. It's my dad was a salesman. My brother's a salesman. Both brothers are salesmen. My grandpa used to be a traveling salesman, right? And I think the biggest thing I deducted was, in life and in business, I think the biggest thing that people need to realize is it's all just about getting people to like you. Like if you're good at that, you'll be successful. And if you have the right mindset and routine, sky's the limit.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. People like to do business with people that they like and they trust.
Exactly.
If you can earn their trust and build that rapport, the deal's already yours.
That's it, man.
Right?
That's it.
But you have to step in with that confidence, right? That belief. Have to.
You cannot half-ass this.
No. How many of those routines do you practice today? Going back to the Miracle Morning.
I think the big thing for me is still waking up somewhat early. I'm not 6 a.m.ing it anymore because the way my business is now, it's completely changed. But I have different routines. Like this might make some people jealous, but I wake up in the morning and go straight to the golf course. And I usually play 9 holes. Yeah. And I walk it, and that's my workout. But I'm doing what I love, I still keep a journal. I still read heavily. It was such a strict practice at that point, and it made so much sense for me at that time, kind of fallen away from it a little bit. But, you know, going off of playing golf in the morning, like I've focused on building a business that makes me happy.
Yeah.
And building a business that allows me to do the things that I love. Like if you ask me if I love real estate, you know, I love things more than real estate. There's things out there that I love more, you know, but is it the greatest vehicle of all time to build a happy and successful, wealthy life?
Yes.
100%. Ask 90% of the 1%.
Right.
How they got there, you know? So that's a good question, man.
Yeah.
No
And
doubt.
I guess when you look at it too, I mean, golfing is your meditation.
Mhm.
It's your quiet time, right? It's that
It
time
is,
to really
yeah.
refresh your mind, to get all the chaos and the craziness from everyday life out of your head.
That's right.
So you're stepping into each day almost with a clear palette and clear
100%.
intention.
Yeah.
And what I've like, meditation's I say a daily practice of mine.
Mhm.
I try to get it in as much as I can.
Sure.
It's so powerful because it rids your mind of all these different thoughts and feelings and insecurities and
That's right.
junk that you're carrying around, dude, from the stress and tension of
Mhm.
this world. And man, I'll tell you what, that is so important,
Yeah,
man,
man.
for any entrepreneur, because the burden that comes if you don't have a way to rid yourself of that weight load, man, it's going to weigh you down.
That's my stress relief right there. Golf can be very stressful as well. Like if I go out and
Not on your
suck,
game.
you know? Yeah. I mean, but it's part of the process, man. But you're 100%. It's allowed me to go out. You know, I didn't do it this morning because I had a meeting. But you know, the days I do it, I come back home, I'm ready to grind.
Yeah.
You know, my mind's fresh. I just did something really fun to start out the day.
Right.
You know, and then I come home and just, you know, I work till pretty late.
You're investing back into yourself,
Exactly,
right?
man. Yeah.
And that brings your sense of gratitude
Mhm.
in itself as well. So it's like pays
No doubt.
yourself tenfold.
Exactly.
And people think you got to just like work today like no one else so you can live tomorrow like no one else. I believe that,
Mhm.
but I think it starts with investing in yourself,
Mhm.
learning, growing, self-developing, and then investing in building something sustainable. But you can't
100%.
coming back to that hamster wheel, you can't just keep on spinning on this wheel with no direction, no vision.
You know, and another benefit of going out there, man, relationships. Like that's going to be a big focus on what we're talking about today. Like just picked up another 500,000 in private lending.
Boom.
From the country club boys.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, they know what I do. I'm out there all the time. And it's just, I'm going to be able to pick up so much money
Yeah.
to be able to use and cheap money,
That's huge.
you know, to put to work,
Yeah.
especially in the Burr model, like trying to buy rentals that way and just growing heavily, you know,
Dude.
stoked. Yeah.
So let's dive straight into relationship capital,
Yes.
because that's really the pillar that you
Mhm.
built and established your business with, even from the early stages of that.
Yeah.
What spiked you to jump into that, right?
Mhm.
And how did you implement the power of relationships to grow your
Exactly.
business?
You know, it kind of happened on accident. You know, the most important part of my business, 80% of my deals are JV deals,
That's incredible.
right? And I think, it had to be, I had maybe done 4 or 5 deals to this point, and I had a brand new wholesaler reach out. And they were like, hey, man, would love to take you to lunch, you know, just pick your brain, the typical stuff we get now.
Yeah.
And I jumped on it. I was like, absolutely, I'm happy to help you because you helped me getting going, Ben. You know, and it's like, I want to pay that forward. So what ended up happening, I go to, you know, lunch with this guy. I give him everything, man. Don't hold anything back. Tell him about the deals I'm doing, the leads I have, the
tools,
marketing,
the softwares, the
who
lists.
to talk to. Gave him some buyers, you know, like so many people just hold their cards so close
Yeah.
that it's hard for them to really propel and, you know, and build those relationships, right?
Yep.
So accidentally, I give this dude everything. Get him so excited about wholesaling that guess what? He goes out, finds a lead. Guess who he calls when he gets the lead? Hey, man, I think I got a great lead here, you know? Let's work it together.
What do you think? Yeah.
Can we split it? Yeah.
Let's do
So
this.
then I realized, I'm like, what if I did this every day? What if I took a wholesaler to lunch every day? What if I grew my business through simple relationships and developed somewhat of a disposition type company where people are leveraging my knowledge and ability to go out and knock out tons of deals? And you know, what happened after that, I did make it a practice.
Yeah.
minimum 3 meals a week were spent with other people.
It's brilliant.
You know, because you got to eat. You're not taking out money hours, you know, those important times. But what I was doing on those was I was forging relationships to, you know, get me to the point where I was doing 5 deals a month. And that's a comfortable place for me. That's where I want to be. Right. But a few people really took it seriously. I've been able to help a few people go full time at this. Like, you know, I was telling you about Lewis and Breon today, right? Like, I helped these guys get going. Breon just went full time, you know, and he's still going to be working with me. Like, I just make it so easy for new people getting going. And I'm not greedy, man. You know, I'll give them 50-50. And a lot of people are like, you're leaving money on the table. But the important thing about that model is I don't want the deal if it's already under contract, because newbies typically, if they're trying to JV with somebody and shoving it out, it's typically not that good of a deal in the first place if they can't find a buyer up front, right? So the advantage of that, getting in early, reaching out, giving somebody all the advice in the world, is that I get the lead. I don't get the contract. I don't want the contract. I want the lead at baby stage. So then I can nurture that lead. I can dictate the price. I can go get a good deal. I know how to negotiate with the seller, right? And the whole time I'm hand-holding this person that's brand new, helping them out, watching, and then they grow. They get a deal done. Then they come back to me with more leads. You know, so it's like having the abundance mindset and going into these JV relationships and partnerships, dude, has helped me explode, you know? And it's kind of like I have acquisition managers that don't really know that they're kind of somewhat working for me, and they're okay with it. Like I could say that to them, you know? And I think at the moment I probably have 10, 12 people that send me leads.
That's amazing.
You know, and for me, it's zero cost marketing. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then I get to work those. But yeah, I mean, that's been my biggest relationship boost. And then second one, absolutely hands down, is forming unbelievable relationships with buyers. Yep. It turns my business, my average timeline of a deal, I maybe spend 40 minutes on a deal. From contract, from acquisition to dispo to close. Like, so for me, it's developed a business where I get to work 10 hours a week, you know, and it's just me and my company. You know, so many people are like, well, who's your AM? Who's your dispo guy? Who's your transact? It's just me, man. You know, and I love it because being your own boss, getting to keep the majority of a deal. Sure, I do my own marketing as well. I mean, I'm spending $7,000 a month in my own stuff. So that recently
changed.
Yeah.
Your overhead used to be much lower, right?
It did. Yeah. I was like, last year I spent $600 a month and was knocking out, you know, my goal was to do, you know, 25 a month, 25K a month. And last year, I think we did 270, you know, so I was able to accomplish that on, what is that, $6,800 or 7,200 in market spend. Yeah. The ROI is ridiculous, you know, and I'm helping people do their first deals in the process, which, you know, better than anybody, is the greatest feeling of all time.
It's incredible.
But, you know, I think it goes back to, what do you really want from this business? Last year, I wanted to make 25 a month. This year, it's changed as the year's gone on, but I set out to make 45,000 a month. You know, first quarter knocked out 125. You know, I'm on pace to hit my goal of $500,000. Yeah. But now things have changed a little bit, man, because talk about relationships again. Found the buyer in major markets. This week we're expanding to Atlanta. We're expanding to Jacksonville. We're already in Charlotte. You know, we're going to start branching out and basically chasing this buyer that's essentially paying ARV for houses.
It's incredible. Yeah.
So it's goal-wise, I think we can easily get in the 7 figures in the next couple months, man. Like, it's about to get fun. This business is fun. Once you get it going, you know? Yeah. I just went on a rant, dude.
No, that's good. Yeah. I love it. We found the same thing, man. Columbia's market right now, there's deals. I mean, I've had trouble finding great rehabs, right? Because we still keep a couple projects around the clock, but man, there's a lot of saturation in the market. Yeah. And it's actually allowed us to pivot, right? To look for more opportunities. We've been doing the virtual thing for pre-COVID. So probably going on 18 months, man.
Keep doing it, man.
It's incredible. But that model, bro, knowing your buyer and then having that relationship, someone that's going to pay upward towards retail, That's next level.
And we talk about like your lead to deal ratio. I think a really good one would be every 15 leads you get, it's a deal. I mean, with this, we're talking about like 1 in 3.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Because as long as there is a portion of equity, 10%, 15%, 20%, we can get a deal done and make big money on it, So it's just wild, man. I'm just so excited. I haven't been able to sleep in like 3 weeks.
Dude, it's amazing.
I'm serious. Like, if you see bags under my eyes, like, I'm sorry. Like, I've been so excited about the concept of this. And, and I had to look inward, like, is this really what I want? And I keep saying that over and over because it's so easy to get lost in your business and overcomplicate everything. Next thing you know, you got a very complicated, high-paying job.
Yep.
Where you're stressing yourself out, you're chasing people around, you're trying to manage employees. And it's just, when this opportunity came up, I had to decide, like, are you ready? Like, you ready to take it up?
You got to talk to your higher self.
It's been kind of easy button lately because even in Columbia, man, the institutional buyers I have here are just paying more than everybody. And it's such a short,
they're chasing everyone out of the market,
process. Man. I know it's sad, but we can talk about that. As a wholesaler, I got to look at what's best for my business.
That's it.
Right? And if I have somebody that's doing one inspection, easy button offers, coming in, paying close to retail, still in Columbia, right? I got to go with that,
Got to.
It's just smart business.
I mean, we utilize the same tools.
Yeah, sorry.
You'd be foolish not to.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, it really is terrifying. That's a rabbit hole for another day, but
yes, indeed.
Hedge funds are buying up our real estate by the boatload. There's going to come a time where that scale just like tips so much, and talking about owning a house, it's going to be a thing of the past for many middle income families. And now like this buzzword of affordable housing, which really just translates to high-rise apartment buildings to house more people. I mean, that's where the market's going, man. And big government
it's nuts.
Dumps subsidies into that type of model too, dude. So it's like, it's all by design, but
I know.
God,
it's crazy.
it really is.
I think the thing that I really need to start picking up on is buying more, and I it's kind of, it is my own fault. I feel like I'm waiting for something, man. I don't know what it is. Market to change, people be more open to terms, but at some point I feel like I'm just been pulling cash, just getting ready. I don't know what it is, but the end goal for me is passive income through real estate, like all of us, right? What do you think about that, Ben? I hate to interview you, but I need advice, man.
No,
because it's like
good.
I need to buy.
I've been running circles on this question for quite some time.
Yeah.
I've gone in different stages. Where your focus goes, energy flows, right? So when you're focused on building the wholesale machine,
yes,
you're smashing out wholesale deals, stacking the cash. When you're focused on rehabs, like last year, bro, my wholesale deal ratio went significantly down because we started flipping tons of houses, which was great, right? But it all kind of evened out at the end. Same thing with building rentals. If that's not your focus and not your game, then it's not going to be a priority in your life, right? And you're going to miss opportunities because you're so laser sharp focused on that that one type of deal exit strategy. And I would say, I mean, yes, obviously there's a way that you can structure it all. I mean, I try to get enough cash to buy a rental here and there, and just own it flat out, right? But I think there's benefits on both sides, right? But laser sharp focus is the game, right? Because if you take your eyes off of that plow, your eyes off of the prize, the target that you're aiming for, then it's going to bring you off of that journey and distract you from the main thing.
It was like, before we hopped on this, I said to you, what a time to be alive.
Yes.
It's hard for me to take my focus away from what I think is one of the biggest wholesaling opportunities that I've ever seen.
Yeah. And very few people, even advanced wholesalers, have this opportunity. Right.
So I think it's time to chase. I'll worry about the rentals as they come. If I'll continue marketing in Columbia, but as we expand, in the next 45 days, we want to get to 8 markets is the goal, and dealing with one buyer exclusively. And we don't know how long it's going to last, but we're going to run up the score.
I love
and
it.
just have fun.
Yeah.
You know, and teamed up with some really good guys, you know, that are going to be in our mastermind, Beat the Sun Up.
Yeah.
So
I'm
pumped.
stoked, dude.
Ben's our keynote coming down, give the final speech. But yeah, man, you know, let's talk about relationships again. True partners, people that, you know, are very equal. You know, obviously everybody's equal.
Yeah.
But have the same type of experience level. And so many people are afraid of that collaboration, to give up equity in the deal. But the way I see it is
Small picture, right?
is volume, baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's volume. I can only get so far alone. You've hear it all the time. Investing's a team sport.
Yeah.
Right? So by having my boys Wes, Eric, Austin, and Jacksonville, like all these different people that have the knowledge, now we have boots on the ground across the nation.
Yeah.
You know, and as we grow, we have people in Missouri, you know, like going to go after Oklahoma City, like we talked about, St. Louis.
That's where we're heading.
Kansas City, Nashville, Memphis. You know, it's just, I'm just so pumped. And this is perfect timing for us to be here, because I couldn't do that alone, man.
No, absolutely not.
I would overcomplicate my life to a point where I'd drive myself crazy. That's the last thing I want.
What did Adam used to say?
Keep it simple, stupid.
And real estate is a team sport. Real estate
exactly
is a team
right,
sport, bro.
See, that's money. And, but I think the networking part has been huge for me, man.
Yeah.
Getting in touch with these guys, you know, like Michael Fernandez in Greenville.
Beast.
I've learned so much from that guy.
Yeah.
Dude owns like 50 owner finance wraps at age 27. Like, that's who I want to be around, right? And this group of guys that we've developed, a bunch of young hustlers, man, just out there trying to work together, come together, partner, and like take over the world type stuff.
It's a rare breed, bro. It's hard to find people like that.
It's wild, man. Like Knott's Brothers, shout out, love you guys. Like that's the type of people that we want to be around.
Yeah.
You know, so the relationship capital, like we talked about, right? It goes from the JV relationships that will help you scale. It goes to the buyers that you're working with that can put your business on autopilot. And then it goes to like legitimate business partners that you meet through the game. And then next thing you know, you're looking at moving to 8 markets in 45 days.
Long-term relationships.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, we each have our own skill set. You know, like Wes has the leads. He's got a marketing machine. He's going to be getting the leads in each market. Each boots on the ground partner basically is going to handle the acquisition. They have their own acquisition manager to be able to send out, you know, and then I have the relationship with the buyer, right? I'll be setting our asking prices. I'll be handling closings, you know, all those different things, but it's actually way more simple than we think. Yeah. And I think, you know, when you ask me, what does Adam always say? I said, keep it simple, stupid. Like that simple has made me very successful.
Yeah.
You know, just, it's so easy to get the shiny object syndrome, right?
Dude, that, and just, we think as entrepreneurs that we have to build all these complicated processes and procedures that, you know, in our mindset is going to have our business operating like a well-oiled machine, right? But in some cases, myself included, bro, I have a way of taking a simple concept and complicating the crap out of it because I think I'm smarter than the concept itself, right? So it's like, well, you know, I think I could build a better machine around this idea, and it just ends up being a mess, right? Just this ball of momentum that could be good or bad, and if you don't catch it soon enough, it's like
100%, man,
crazy.
You know, I think the simplicity of, you know, just how this business doesn't have to be that way. You know, it doesn't have to be this complex machine, you know, and it does come from a lot of the relationship side, because leveraging other people's time to help you hit a goal, you sit back and other people are working with you, somewhat for you, you know, and everybody wins. You're making money with your friends, you know, but it's so tempting to go out and buy 6 CRMs, and next thing you know, you're trying to expand into 5 marketing verticals, doing PPC, everything. Like, you know, at the start for me, it was cold calling and JVs. Yep. Now it's JVs, direct mail. Like, I think taking an inventory of your business, because Ben, I've said it earlier in this podcast, but for me, the only reason I do this is to benefit my own life.
Freedom.
Right? Like to be happy. Like
Yeah.
that's my goal. Like take an inventory of your business, right? Never forget when I did this. Like I went to We Live, Max Maxwell's event in Dallas, 2019. Went there. Gary Vee spoke. Love Gary Vee. He said something that just hit me, man. It was like, why do people do shit that they hate their whole life? And I just sat there. I was like, duh. Like, that's the most obvious sentence of all time. But you look at so many people in your life that are just stuck working crap jobs, don't know how to get out. They don't understand the difference between, financial security and real freedom, and after I went there, I was at a point where I knocked out some deals. I had some money. I was ready to outsource some things. Make the list. Everything you like to do in your business that makes you money and everything you don't like to do in your business that makes you money. It's that simple. I had 5 things on the list of things I like to do. I think it was, I love acquisitions. I love going on meetings. I'm a deal junkie, right? I love selling deals. Yeah. I really love the process, the double sales cycle of this business. So acquisitions, dispo, love it. I love getting checks, right? I love helping people. Those are like the 4 things I wrote down. Top of the list on the bottom, lead generation. I hate it, man. I've cold called it. I've done it myself. Yeah. It's brutal, man. And so going into this year, I linked up with a company that completely automates my direct mail. It cost a fortune.
You're the other person in our market?
That's you, man?
Yeah, bro.
Dang, I thought it was just me. I
was wondering who jumped on that invisible.
That was me.
Yeah, I've seen those zip codes.
Yep. Yeah, bro. That's me, man. And that's so funny, man. I thought I was the only guy.
No. Dude, so I was in beforehand.
Yeah.
We pulled for literally
sure
maybe a month and a half. And then I came back and someone was on that certain list.
Sure.
So they'll mail the same list, but they won't mail the same postcard.
And we're gonna keep this undisclosed. So no, like,
yeah,
I hate to be,
no, for sure.
It is like me and you, you know, but that whole program, the direct mail done for you.
Yep.
Man, I sit back, I get hot leads, and I just look at my life. I'm like, this is awesome, because it takes the number one thing I hate to do completely off my plate. I also hate managing employees. I used to have a couple cold callers. I'm just not, I wasn't good at managing. Yeah. It was my own fault. I couldn't give them enough. So it's just figure out what is really important to you, what you don't like to do, what you're good at, all these different things. And, just focus on the right things, and keep it simple in the process. You don't have to create this massive empire,
It goes back to like simple things, like everything that I needed to know in life, I learned in kindergarten, right? But just, God, if we would just apply these simple principles that we've known all the way along, before we get our minds and our thoughts, molded into the view that we think society wants us to be, or go to college and get a degree so that I could, climb the corporate ladder.
Sure.
But if you just keep your life simple, right? Like you said, take a moral inventory of your life, figure out where you want to go, right? And then you figure out what you enjoy doing and what you don't.
Yeah.
Focus on the things you're great at, build a team around the rest, and continue trucking down that journey, right? And just take rest breaks.
Yep.
Take times where you can sit back, relax, and think about where you're at,
That's exactly right, man.
But the society, the culture that we're in, and just human psychology, right? The way that we're wired and we think, we're habitual creatures. Yep. So we've been doing something a certain way for so long.
Been told to do it that way.
Told to do it because the education system that we're in really stemmed from the industrial age, where people were working in factories, bells were ringing. Think about the bells going off like at schools and stuff, going to recess, and like schedules, right? Colleges do it today. They're great at making technicians to work in the machine. But now that we're coming out of the industrial age, this information age has opened up the playbook for everyday Joes like you and me. However, most people don't want to pursue that knowledge because we'd rather be distracted scrolling social media.
Exactly.
Because it's easier, and you're getting those dopamine hits. I mean, we'll go down a rabbit hole here, right? But people would rather get a quick dopamine hit seeing how many likes they get on a post than actually investing in themselves.
And pay attention to how they really feel.
Yeah.
You know, some people aren't cut out for this.
No,
Flat out.
absolutely not.
I have friends.
What percentage would you guess? 5?
5. I like 5%. But I have friends that I beg to start wholesaling because I know how much they hate their job. And they just won't listen. And there's nothing I can do. And I want it more than anything for them. I think the problem is people are so programmed that they're just so risk adverse.
We're programmed.
Yeah. Well, they're programmed by their parents and, you know, whatever.
Because their parents
do things
were
a certain way,
yeah.
you know, and it's just like, it's like I said at the beginning, man, you asked me what was the number one thing that helped me at the start. It's getting away from that and being convinced that I could do something on my own and be good at it, you know, and I just feel like that's the big miss. People don't truly believe that they can go out and figure it out. I think another thing as well, Ben, is people are trying to invent something all the time, like coming up with these ideas. And what I realized was there's plenty of stuff out there that I could do and find that already exists.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it better, right? Because wholesaling gets a bad rap, you know, because there are some sketchy people out there doing bad deals, ripping off sellers.
Just like any other business.
Exactly, man. So people like us, our mastermind group, the way I was trained, you know, was to be a true helper, not a haggler, to go in every deal with the seller's best interest. There's a place in this business in real estate for genuine people, is what I really realized, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, especially on the seller side, man, sellers can smell commission breath from a mile away.
Straight up.
They have wholesalers go in, oh, that assignment fee.
Yeah.
You know, they can smell it. And when I go in, we're trying to solve problems.
Service first.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know, it's like on my business card, help first, profit second.
Yep.
Right. And going in with that mentality, I promise you will get you more deals than you ever have.
100%.
And like when my bank account was up against the wall, when I got down to $3,000 and I'm walking into these appointments, I get it. It's hard. It's hard at the start going in and feeling like.
I'm glad you brought that up.
You know, like
you're living in scarcity.
Yeah.
It's a scarcity
and
mindset.
it's hard to go on a meeting without thinking about what happens if I don't get a deal in the next month? What am I going to do?
Yeah. How am I going to pay the bills?
Wholesale or die,
You got
baby.
kids at home?
Yeah.
Wholesale.
Exactly.
Dude,
Luckily,
you need to create a shirt that says that, wholesale or die.
I'm trademarking
Sick.
that thing. I'm taking dibs on that. Don't be taking my wholesale or die. But yeah, man, it's just when your back's against the wall, you still have to have that mentality of service first.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized after just hearing stories on podcasts about how deals went south, people got sued, sellers were pissed.
Yep.
People were getting foreclosed on because a wholesaler locked up the deal on bad numbers, couldn't sell it.
Yep.
Wasted the important 30 days before an auction. Basically, effectively ruined that person's life. Right? Those are the stories that I heard when I'm like sitting back and I'm like, oh, I can do this better.
Yeah.
And I'm going to connect with the people that are doing it better so I can learn from them and ask who, not how. That's a whole nother story there. We talk about relationships, man. Talk about getting going.
Yep.
Starting a business. People just YouTube everything, right? They try to figure it out on their own. You know what happened when I joined a mentorship? I got my first contract 2 days after joining. When I reached out to someone else that had already done it, right?
Put you on the
paid
fast
the
track.
money. Yeah.
It compressed your time. Instead of
Cheat
taking
code, boom.
6 months to 3 years,
Exactly.
They compressed this knowledge into a tiny little spectrum. Yes, you paid some money for the mentorship, but man,
best money I ever spent.
an investment in yourself, investment in knowledge pays the best interest.
Exactly. So if you compound true conviction in yourself, belief that you can do something with the relationship side of finding the right people to show you the way.
And doing that with integrity,
exactly.
Sky's the limit.
Like, you can't be stopped.
Yeah.
Because, said it already, but man, when you're genuine in real estate, people see it.
Yeah.
It's a relationship game. People talk. Buyers know each other.
Mm-hmm.
Columbia, we know everybody, man.
Yeah.
You know? And it's a beautiful game of, Columbia's cool because everybody works together, man. People are down to help. People are down to share what they're doing. JV a deal with you. You know, buy
Some
a deal
are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, in
But
my experience,
the real people stick together, right? It's like
in my experience, I've had nothing but good.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe I'm blind to some of it, but you know, it's just been, it was a perfect market for me to start in.
That's awesome. Dude, so many nuggets that you pulled out of there. I've realized that entrepreneurship, I believe, is a spiritual journey, right? Like this journey we're embarking on, there's so many deep-rooted spiritual principles that you can bring out of it. You know, and you just mentioned right now, like, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
That's because of your mindset and your focus, right? Because you're focused on abundance. You're focused on opportunities, pulling out the best out of people, creating win-win situations, instead of focusing on the negative and living inside of your fear. Yeah, collaboration over competition.
That's right.
So what you're focusing on is the results that you are bringing into your life, bro.
Exactly.
Like, the words we speak are so powerful. The thoughts that we conceive go out there somewhere into the universe, into the cosmos. I believe in God, right?
Yep.
But it manifests itself tenfold back into your life, you know? So as you sow, so shall you reap.
Yep.
Dude, it's deep.
It's scary what you can accomplish with that type of mindset, man. Probably the same things happen to you, man. But I'll have people reach out on Facebook and how do I get going? Don't you think my market is way too competitive? One of the first things people say to me. And I, like you said, focus. I can't remember one time ever where I thought about competition. Not once. I've never even given it a thought, man, that my market's too saturated. There's a bunch of wholesalers here, man. It is competitive.
Oh, yeah.
But it was the last thing on my plate. I was more thinking about how we could work together.
Yeah.
Instead of how you're stealing all my deals.
How can I bring value to this person,
exactly.
right? So you talked about modeling earlier too, right? So instead of trying to create your own model, just find a model that you like.
Exactly.
Pull out the pieces that you feel fit your personality and your skill set best, and dump the rest, right? And then figure
100%.
out how you can make those pieces even better implemented in your own life.
That's right. And I think a huge thing too for newbies to understand, and people that have done, call it 10, 15 deals, you know, you watch all these people out here, you know, the Arizona guys that are crushing 30 deal months.
Yeah.
And there's a sense that you get that I'm not successful until I hit those type of numbers, right? For the longest time for me, it bothered me a little bit, you know, and then I did my self-evaluation and really thought about what I wanted from this business. And the advice I have for people just getting going is you do not have to create an empire to be successful in this business and have a great life. You know, it's just, you see it, people driving the Lamborghinis, all this stuff. Do you really need that? You know, do you really want that?
But if
Does
you
that
want
make
it,
you successful?
If you want it, why not go for it?
Sure. And that's the thing too. You have the scalability and the runway with wholesaling and real estate in general to be able to hit those goals.
Yeah.
You know, like now that the opportunity has presented itself to me to get to a point where I can knock out 10, 15 deals a month on autopilot, how could I not?
Yeah.
You know, like I'm going to jump on it because this is my time, you know. But up until this point, I decided at the beginning of the year exactly what goals I want to set. And I'm always thinking about my lifestyle and my happiness and my stress level in the back.
Yeah.
You know, every decision I make is, okay, how much is this going to complicate my life? And it's selfish. And I don't mind being selfish when it's, you know, making decisions about my life and my family.
Yeah.
You know, like, I just feel like it's tough sometimes seeing all these people out there crushing it, you know, and feeling like you're not good enough.
Yeah, but what I've also come to realize is everything is perception, right?
Yes.
It's easy to highlight the hallmark moments on social media, and then everyone in your network, and as you know, the real estate investing space is very small and tight niche. Everyone knows everyone, not only in Colombia, but pretty much around the country, right? I can guarantee that. Anyone that's doing something. But we're always looking at someone else's highlight reel, wishing that we could be in their shoes when we actually didn't see, you know, the 7 times they fell before they stood up that 8th time, right? And talking about 30 deals a month, I mean, that's great, but do you really want that stress on your back?
Can you imagine? Yeah.
Talk about taking self-evaluation. What if you could just do 5 deals and make 10 times more on each deal and make the same amount of money that someone is chasing paper, going through chaos, managing their transactions.
And work 10 hours a week.
10 hours a week, baby. Tim Ferriss.
That's right, man. 4-hour work week. You know, there's so many ways to slice this business. It's been so good to me. I know it's been good to you. I love it. But there's not a huge barrier to entry. You know, like we talk about how all the investors know each other. When I was starting, I was scared, you know, to go out and talk to people. You were the first one that opened the doors to me. But what I realized after sitting with you and sitting with Russ and sitting with Andrew Lucas and sitting with these people was, man, these guys are cool, you know. And I started going to the meetups, and I religiously attended them and built my little network. And I feel like people are intimidated, and it's okay, you know. Why wouldn't they be at the start by people like Ben that's crushing major deals every month? And the coolest thing is, like, you were so down to help me. I'm so down to help people. You know, that's the sense that I've got. So just people getting going. Don't be afraid to ask for help. You know,
that's big.
You get a cheat code to this business by connecting with the right people.
Yeah,
flat out.
Wow, that's big.
It's the truth, bro.
Come a long way, dude.
It's been wild, man. I've enjoyed like checking in with you, and you know, because it's just so funny that you were literally my first guy.
Yeah,
Starbucks coffee, Lexington.
Literally, this guy was sitting in a hammock in Bali, and one of my YouTubes popped up. He's like, "Hold on, this guy's in Colombia." Boom! Like that's how the relationship happened.
Hit you up on Facebook or something.
Yeah,
I do is grab coffee, no doubt. And then I got my first taste of a meeting. I was like, oh. Stuff is real.
Yeah.
I've been questioning if this is fake life or not, you know.
There's something different in the entrepreneur space too. You know, like, especially now we live in this world where it's, you know, us versus them, different sides, different beliefs, you know, all this dissension that really doesn't need to be there, right? Just let's love one another. But in the entrepreneurship space, in the real estate space, something different, man. People... There's a different energy flow. People operate with, in my opinion, a greater sense of integrity, right? We're not playing the victim card, but we're coming together, figuring out how can we make this life better.
Exactly.
Right? Our time is limited, so why are we wasting it either working at a job we don't enjoy, beefing with our neighbor, whatever, getting caught up in the media? Man, focus on happiness. You know, focus on building a life that can be sustainable for you and your family, and stop going down these rabbit holes chasing corrupt politicians. Yeah. You know, like, just focus on the good. Can we just do that?
I'm with it, man.
You know,
so much good can come from this business.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, we've said it before, it's just so easy to get caught up in all the shiny objects, the new CRMs, the new marketing styles, that just be careful. Consult a mentor before making huge decisions. Yeah. Like, who do you think I called before I decided to expand to these markets? My boy Adam Johnson. You know, like, I made the mistake one time. I was maybe 8 months in, had done a good bit of deals, you know, maybe 15, 18 deals, and I thought that I had it. You know, I was like, I got this. So I went out and hired 5 virtual assistants in the Philippines, bro.
I was there once.
And I had no idea what I was getting into. Yeah. Didn't call Brent or Adam. Just had no clue.
All of them cold calling.
Dude, I blew up. I wasted so much money. I didn't know how to manage them properly. I didn't have the structure in place, no systems, no CRM to be able to just manage the leads. And I blew up, man. You know, and at that moment,
in a bad way?
Yeah, it sucked. It sucked. I was spending money like crazy. And then I did an inventory of my deals, and, you know, I think that quarter I did $67,000 still. But 9 deals, $67,000. I remember this because I had to present it at a mastermind. 9 of the deals came from JVs, bro. 0 from the VAs. It was like, and I was spending a lot every month. And so we talk about asking how, not who. No, who, not how. Excuse me, bro. Lisa popped up, confused me. And it's having someone like that in your life. Yeah. Having that relationship.
Accountability partners.
Relationship capital, baby.
Find someone that's one step ahead of you, right? And then help someone out that's one step behind.
And find people that are in the same lane as you. You know, it was like, I had Eric Bryant, Malachi Ware. Now we're tight, man. Yeah. You know, Eric and I are basically best friends. He's coming down tomorrow night to stay at my house.
That's awesome.
You know, and we were in that mentorship together. And what we did, we formed the Bandit Sign Mastermind, man. Yeah. Just 3 of us. We called ourselves the Bandits. It was so stupid. But we had a conversation every Tuesday morning, updates on each other's businesses, leads we're working on, deals we're crunching, and we accelerated together. We all became successful together, and we were able to do that because we held each other accountable, like you mentioned. It's just all different types of relationships to just be able to propel you forward at the end of the day, man.
Yeah.
But just don't do it alone.
Don't do it. You don't have to do it alone. We're meant for community, right?
Exactly.
Human beings were meant for people, relationships. Stop trying to do it alone. Find your band of brothers, right? I'm stoked for this mastermind, man.
Pumped.
So before we jump off this, dude, what's your best piece of advice for someone that's just starting off?
Really, it comes down to the thing that helped me the most, man. It was having zero fear of failure and understanding that you will fail getting going. You're going to mess up a contract. You're going to have to drop a deal. Try not to do it at the expense of a seller's life. Like if they're in a really tough situation, just don't mess with it, or find somebody experienced to JV with you. But just understand that getting into anything entrepreneurship related, you can't go in thinking that you can still kind of do your part-time thing on the side. Like it's do or die. It's wholesale or die, man. Yeah. That's the mentality that you have to grasp. Pure conviction in yourself, belief in yourself, study your ass off, be prepared, network like crazy, find people to help you, get a mentor. I know those like 7 things.
No, that's gold.
But those are just a little bit of what you truly need.
Go all in. Stop riding that fence.
Exactly, man. And just understand as well that you can reach out to me. You can reach out to Ben. Hit me up. Yeah. Like, I'm happy to help you. Maybe we'll do some deals together.
Right.
It's like, don't be afraid to ask for help, and just understand that this business is a true team sport, man.
Yeah, it is.
But that's it.
Love it, bro. Love it.
That was awesome, man.
Hope y'all got something out of this. Yes. Tons of nuggets you can extract. If you just took, a couple of the principles, put them on paper, craft some goals, create a vision for where you want to go, and just take massive action. That's right. Massive imperfect action, right? Stop living in fear. On the other side of your fear lies a promise.
Exactly.
Get out there and take it.